talked about common denominators. Both teams have the same color code. The university's traditional colors, gold and blue. West Virginia will be in white. Neyland, who celebrated his 53rd birthday on January 1st yesterday. An entire state hungry for national attention gets their chance to share the spotlight today with Neyland and his Mountaineers. And now we await the entrance of the #1 team in the nation coming in, the Irish of Notre Dame. Neyland, who broke Pappy Lewis's marks as the winningest coach in West Virginia history. The Notre Dame band now is circling toward the stands, and soon the Irish will make their appearance. Again, for those of you just joining us, Notre Dame #1, West Virginia #3, only the 8th time in the last 50 years two unbeaten, untied teams have met in a bowl game to decide the national championship. And it's the second time in 3 years that event has happened here in Tempe, Arizona. Here comes Lou Holtz and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, the winningest university in this football century. The 52-year-old Lou Holtz trying to add still another national title to the winningest football program in the country. Rockne, Leahy, Parsegian, Devine all won championships in their 3rd year. This is Lou Holtz's 3rd season in South Bend with the Irish of Notre Dame. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen. We're delighted to start this new year with this national championship game. And Merlin, in our time and in the time 20 years in the future, you go to any campus in the country and someone's going to say, we're #1. And what a way to start it for us.
A wonderful way. And not only that, Dick, this is not only an exciting moment, an exciting game with its own reward at the end, but the opportunity to wear that championship ring for a lifetime.
You were down in the locker rooms, Notre Dame and West Virginia, before the game.
I had forgotten how quiet it is in a college locker room. And there are 118 players dressing in West Virginia's locker room, 108 in that Notre Dame locker room. You could have heard a pin drop. But a quiet intensity in both locker rooms.
All right, we've talked about the coaches. We're going to talk much more about the two quarterbacks, two brilliant players, Tony Rice of Notre Dame and Major Harris of West Virginia. On whom does the greatest pressure fall?
I think it's really on Major Harris today. And the reason for that is that the strength of this Notre Dame team, in my opinion, is on the defensive side. And there's something else that Major carries. I think if he can get off to a fast start, he can bolster the whole confidence level of this West Virginia team.
But he's going against the strength of Notre Dame.
There's no question about that. And the one thing that Notre Dame's defense has done well in the big games they have played during the year, particularly against Miami, where they had 7 turnovers, and against USC, where they had 4 turnovers and a touchdown in each of those games defensively. They have forced bad plays from the offensive team.
Well, down on the field joining us for our telecast of this Sun-Kissed Fiesta Bowl, the 18th anniversary, is one of our NBC colleagues, Reggie Rucker.
Thank you, Dick. Football players need to feel confident with the playing surface under them. This field is grass. Now, it's a worn field, but I think it'll be okay for today's game. It's moderately fast, and if it rains, it's going to get worse. Now, Notre Dame played 9 of its 11 games on grass this year. However, the West Virginia Mountaineers played 9 of their 11 games on AstroTurf. Football players will tell you, and I can back that up, that when you come from AstroTurf to grass, you feel sluggish, you feel slower. They don't like it. So with this game being as close as it is, if there is any kind of advantage whatsoever, it could mean the difference.
Thank you, Reggie. We'll be visiting with Reggie during the course of the game as he gives us a feel from the sidelines, as well as hoping to visit with some of the great names of football that are with us here today in Tempe. The temperature around the mid-50s. We had a light sprinkle actually earlier in the day. Cloud cover here in the greater Phoenix area. Perfect day for football. The white jerseyed Mountaineers will receive.
Dick, I think the one thing that is very obvious as you feel the coolness in this air, both of these teams were eager to have a cool day. I think the thing they did not want, because they trained in the cold so much, was a very hot day.
The Irish to tee it up, and Billy Hackett, who is their long-range kicker, will interceptions the tackle. Frank Stamps, watch him on the blitz. 2nd and 10, and a whistle from the officials. Problem with the clock, apparently.
Dick, the Irish won the toss, deferred to the second half, and I believe they wanted to put their defense on the field first today.
There's Lou Holtz. He was a reserve linebacker at Penn State when Don Nehlen was the starting quarterback at Bowling Green in the Mid-America Conference. Pacing the sidelines. He's tried to treat this game as just a game for his players. Don Nehlen has been outspoken. This is the most important game for his team and the most important game in his coaching life. That's Calvin Phillips in motion, and the give to A.B. Brown finds a hole and darts out across the 30 to the 33. George Streeter, a senior from Chicago, came up to meet him. 3rd down and 3. Here's the rest of the Notre Dame defensive alignment. Linebackers and the strength of the team here. Mike Stonebreaker, Wes Pritchett. Those two men made several All-America teams, top 3. Smagala and Lido at the corners. Streeter and Terrell, the safety men. A veteran line supporting Major Harris as he looks for 3 in the first option of the day. And Notre Dame reads it well, and Harris has dropped short of the first down at the 35-yard line by Michael Stonebreaker, number 42. That name familiar, great name for a linebacker, Stonebreaker. His dad, Steve, played with the Lions and Colts in New Orleans.
Stonebreaker playing with a bit of a stomach virus today, missed a day of practice, and Frank Stamps, his roommate, also a bit of a bug today. We'll keep an eye on them during the game.
Back to punt, Lance Carrion for West Virginia, averaging 41 a punt. And Ricky Waters, number 12, is the deep man for Notre Dame, returned 2 punts, 4 touchdowns. Oh, good kick all the way to the 16. Waters from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, has a crease and is out to the 35-yard line. The tackle made by Theron Ellis, number 66, one of the inside linebackers for West Virginia. 49-yard kick. 19 yards on Waters' return. Look at the Irish offensively. Tony Rice at quarterback. He, like Major Harris, likes to run the ball. Mark Green, Anthony Johnson, they'll share the running duties. Ricky Waters and Raghib Ismail, speedy wide receiver, and Derek Brown, a brilliant freshman, is the tight end. Up the middle. Go to Anthony Johnson, the big fullback, and he has 2 or 3, and then he's smothered. Charge spearheaded by number 49, the leading tackler for the Mountaineers, Chris Herring. Andy Heck made several All-America teams. Mike Brennan moves from tackle to guard. Tim Ryan, a groin injury, not in there at guard. Helt, Gruenhard, and Brown, the offensive line. 2nd down and 6. The option and the toss in trouble. Tony Brooks has bounced out of bounds for a loss. Back at the 38-yard line, Chris Parker, number 94, was there first. Parker from Whitehall, Pennsylvania, in his 4th year. Jim Gray and Mike Fox join him on the defensive line for the Mountaineers. Ronaldo Turnbull has 12 sacks. Watch him in pass situations. Ron Ellis, Chris Herring, the leading tackler, Robert Pickett at the linebacking spots. I'll give you the deep 4 in a moment. 3rd down and 7. And Rice's first pass attempt. He breaks away from Parker, 45-50, and Rice is all the way 40, still on his feet, and tripped up at the 32-yard line. Derek Brown threw a key block downfield, a 31-yard ad lib by Tony Rice.
That's the danger of a quarterback that can run the football. And Rice basically has great running strength. They like to use him throwing the ball short or deep, but he is not afraid to pull it down and do what he does best, which is to make his way on foot upfield.
Rice, with 700 yards rushing, led Notre Dame this year. Broke all the quarterback rushing records. He gives off this time to Mark Green. Take a Tony Brooks, and Brooks is stopped after a short gain at the 31. The rest of the Mountaineer defense, let's check the 4 defensive backs. Willie Edwards. Alvoyd Mays led the team in interceptions during the year with 5. Lawrence Drumgoole for the injured Darrell Whitmore. Whitmore broken fibula in the Syracuse game. Maybe the best defensive back won't play. And Bull Orlando, a tough tackler, number 22, moves from strong to free safety. Second and long, and not much there for Anthony Johnson. Johnson from South Bend, Indiana, still on his feet, and he and Orlando talk about what's ahead here in 1989.
I'm not so sure I'd want to go down and bump heads with Bo Orlando. He's only 5'10" and 173 pounds, Dick, but he can bench press 420 pounds, and he is the heart and soul. The reason they're angry is because the touchdown there. They touched the ball down, the whistle had blown. And what they're saying is, why are you running? He said, hey, why'd you grabbing me? Obviously a misunderstanding.
Big third down inside the Mountaineer 30. And it's Rice on the option. No yardage there. In fact, coming up with the ball was 49 Herring. But the whistle had blown it dead, and that brings up 4th down and a choice for Lou Holtz. Will he go to the field goal?
Or will we could see Billy Hackett, who has kicked the long field goals over Reggie Ho.
It is Hackett that's in there, and they tee it up at the 35-yard line. A 45-yard kick, his longest this year, 44. It is good. So Billy Hackett, who made 3 field goals during the regular season, gets Notre Dame on the board first. 10:25 remaining in the opening quarter.
The 1989 Sun-Kissed Fiesta Bowl is brought to you by the Sun-Kissed family of products, where you can be sure of the highest quality every time. You have our word on it. By Mitsubishi, bringing you the new Eclipse Sports Coupe. See it at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer. By Budweiser and Bud Light, who'll also bring you Bud Bowl 1 coming January 22nd on NBC. And by UPS. We deliver to every address in the U.S. and to 41 countries worldwide.
$72,000 plus. A tremendously difficult ticket to find, as you can imagine. Around 12,000 allocated to the 2 universities. And, of course, alums from around the country eager to be part of this celebration of the new year, as football's #1 might well be decided, and the Irish lead 3-0 on a 45-yard field goal by Billy Hackett, who will now kick it off to Eugene Napoleon. It comes to Napoleon at the 9. Oh, good special teams. Number 48, Michael Smalls. That's 2 tackles on 2 kickoffs for him, as he stops Napoleon at the 21-yard line.
You can hear this hit all the way up in the stands. I'm not sure that he was even aware of exactly where the man was, but he got enough of him with that shoulder just to knock him right to the ground.
Notre Dame scoring on the field goal after they took the ball at their own 35 and got down to the West Virginia 28. The Mountaineers, taking the opening kickoff, did not register a first down. This is Anthony Brown picking up about 5 to the 26, tripped up by sophomore nose tackle Chris Zorich, number 50.
Dick, one of the things we're looking at right now is 2 teams kind of trying to find themselves. They have not played a game, West Virginia, since before Thanksgiving, and Notre Dame until right just after Thanksgiving. It's been a while since they've been on the field. They're just searching things out right at the moment.
I favor the offense or the defense?
I think the defense initially, for sure.
Brown, short yardage. Trying his left side. Zorich again in on the tackle. Make that Craig Taylor the ball carrier as he has his first call. Taylor, a 215-pound senior from Linden, New Jersey. And there's Stonebreaker and company with a tackle.
Zorro, number 50, Chris Zorich, right on the middle. A linebacker who's been transformed into a nose tackle. And I'll tell you, he is a major force. He has the great build, the great leverage. Short legs, powerful legs, gets up underneath, and he'll hit you.
Huge forearms and biceps, and he has 4.68 speed. Major Harris gets away from Stonebreaker, has a man open, but can't hit Craig Taylor. Taylor had the ball in his mitts, but couldn't tuck it away. Williams, the defensive tackle, and Stonebreaker, the linebacker, pressuring Harris.
Much has been written about Major Harris's passing ability, and he is a good passer. He also is an excellent scrambler, good at rolling out and buying time. But this is a very quick Notre Dame defensive team, and they've got a lot of folks who can come in there steaming to put some pressure on you. That was 30 Stams, the last man to put the heat on Major Harris.
So Lance Currion will punt it again. Ooh, high snap, and he just does get it away. Low spiral. Ricky Waters inside the 30. Struggles out to the 39-yard line. 45 yards on the punt, 11 yards on the return. It's Notre Dame's ball, leading 3-0 at the Irish 39-yard line with 8:54 left in the first quarter. Welcome back to the Fiesta Bowl. Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen and Reggie Rucker. The Cotton Bowl is a final, and the Bruins of 18-3. Terry Donahue has won 7 straight bowl games, a record, and it's Clemson beating Oklahoma 13-6 in a defensive struggle in the Citrus Bowl. Here 3-0 Notre Dame. We give inside to the fullback Anthony Johnson, and he plows out for about 9 yards to the Irish 49-yard line. Johnson, who has struggled with ankle problems all season long, limps off the field.
What a disappointment. You prepare yourself mentally and you try and do everything you can to get ready for a game like this, and then early in the going you take an injury and head for the sideline, and with the history he's had with that ankle, we may not see much more of him today.
2nd down and 1. Tailback Tony Brooks spinning at the 50, and he has the first down at the 50-yard line. Ron Ellis, a junior from Norristown, Pennsylvania, made the tackle.
Mike Fox, number 61, had excellent penetration and just missed the tackle on Brooks in there. Otherwise, they would have had him well before they got that first down.
First down for the Irish at the 50-yard line. The option, and now Rice to throw, and has a man wide open. The tight end Derek Brown to the 27-yard line.
Lou Holtz has come to the defense of Tony Rice repeatedly during the past few weeks. They've talked about Rice's poor passing, and Holtz said very quickly, he's not a poor passer. He can throw the football. What Holtz has done is to give him an opportunity to throw in a restricted pass offense. He doesn't go back there and try to read too many receivers, but they use him effectively, and when the running game is going, look out.
Leading 3-0, the Irish are on the move. Here's Green. Finally pulled down inside the 15. Another Notre Dame first down.
One of the things that Lou Holtz wanted to see today was a good fast start by his team. He said, quite frankly, we're not the kind of team that comes from behind well. Of course, they haven't had to do that often this year. What they want to do is run the football, basically, and then throw play-action passes to take advantage of the defense.
Double tight end now as Frank Jacobs and Derek Brown bookend the line, and the give goes straight ahead for short yardage. Braxton Banks, who has replaced Anthony Johnson at fullback, his first call. Pickett and company make the tackle. Or when Notre Dame gets inside the 20, they not only score, they score touchdowns. Look at that high percentage.
They're also very conservative down here. They do not throw the ball very often inside the 20-yard line.
2nd down, 7 for the first down, 10+ for a touchdown. Rice keeps. Rice is to the 3-yard line and close to a first down. Bo Orlando, 22, finally brought him to the turf. And it is a well-worn field. For the first time, Sun Devil Stadium had 2 tenants, not only the Arizona State Sun Devils here on the campus, but the St. Louis Football Cardinals of the NFL.
The veer option, and Tony Rice able to get the opportunity to go up inside, and if he has it, he'll take it. He doesn't want to pitch the ball down there unless he has to.
And how well he runs it, as Southern Californians know after watching the Irish beat the Trojans and knock them off number 1. It's first and goal at the 3. Former St. Louis Cardinals, the Phoenix Cardinals, obviously, have also been served here at Sun Devil Stadium during the course of the year. Let's go down to Reggie Ruckert.
Jim Gray has been injured. They've taken him inside. He's the freshman middle guard. That's one of the reasons why Notre Dame is having so much success inside. They don't know if he'll be back. He's gone inside, and he could possibly return.
Second and goal, Notre Dame. Waters, Ricky Waters, who is a tailback, but was switched to flanker in the spring. And he is stopped shy of the goal line. Third and goal. James Fuller, 84, has replaced Jim Gray at the nose guard, made the hit.
One of the trademarks of this West Virginia defense is strength, and they have some powerful people up front on offense and defense. Oh, look at that. Just reached up and grabbed the man and jerked him down. Pat Marlette, I believe, the man to make that fine stop off the ground.
It's Banks. No, Rice keeps. Is he in? No, it is marked shy of the goal line. Banks, actually, had he been given the ball, would have had a touchdown. Now they're going to take a second look. No signal yet. Fourth down, says referee Frank Shepard. And Lou Holt says we're going for 6.
Take a peek at it. The fake here to the fullback, who is in the end zone. He's over the top, but it's the keep by Rice, and he's double-teamed right there on the line. Stood up. That's Theron Ellis, number 36, who did the major damage, but there were plenty of other West Virginians there to help.
Anthony Johnson is the man to watch, the fullback, or Rice on a keeper. Johnson, touchdown. Anthony Johnson, who scored 5 times this year, the junior from South Bend, Indiana, who was married just before Christmas. And that'll be one he'll be able to tell his bride about.
Well, and I said we might not see more of Anthony Johnson today with that ankle. This is the kind of game that if you can hobble out there, you're going to play, and obviously the kind of an ankle that must get better in a hurry, because he's right back in to score the touchdown.
So 4 shots from the 3-yard line and a bobble snap, and the Irish will not get the extra point. Alvoid Moyes, number 3, was first in to tackle the holder Pete Graham, so the score is 9-0. Lou Holtz, like the Irish, becoming a fan, but casual about that touchdown that gives his team a 9-0 advantage.
Notre Dame missed 4 kicks during the season, but this is the first extra point missed by a bobble on the hold, and that was just poorly done. A good snap, nowhere to go at this point, and Alvin Mays just puts him down in a hurry.
We were watching little Reggie Ho, the 135-pound kicker. He didn't know quite where to go.
Well, I think I'd go to the sideline if I were him.
So 9-0. Notre Dame, an impressive 61-yard march for a touchdown in 10 plays. And it's Napoleon again returning the kickoff and getting out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. In case you're wondering, West Virginia fell behind early to Maryland this year during the regular season, 14-0. And did they ever rally against the Terrapins, finally winning that game big? West Virginia rolling through its best season in 97 years. You see that third game, Maryland down 14-0 and then rallied to a 55-24 victory. Then Pittsburgh. The two losses, or the two wins, Virginia Tech, East Carolina, were their two lowest scoring games, and interestingly both on grass surface. And it was Boston College, Penn State, Cincinnati games all over 50 points. Rutgers a scare to Meadowlands, and then they finished with that dramatic night at home in Morgantown against Syracuse. Don Nealon trailing 9-0 early. 4:29 left in the opening quarter, and Major Harris to throw. Underneath, he goes to the tight end Keith Wynn out at the 32-yard line.
Talking to Don Nealon, he said maybe our best offensive plan would be to go directly to the drop back pass and just allow Major Harris to get back there and throw the football unless he gets rushed, and then let him scramble, because good things just seem to happen. He is not a coach, or this is not a team that is afraid to come from behind. They really feel that they have the confidence to do it, and they also feel that they're a team of destiny.
And it's all Notre Dame thus far in the first quarter, 9-0. A.B. Brown is shy of the first down as he hits the 35 and runs into All-America Frank Stamms, number 30, from Akron, Ohio.
Well, right now, destiny needs a few first downs.
There's Stamms, his parents and grandparents from Greece.
Well, that's good power up front by Zorich, former linebacker, and Zorro keeping things stuffed on the line, and that is a very powerful offensive line. All those guys bench press more than 400 pounds up front.
West Virginia looking for its first down, and they don't get it. Stuffed right at the line of scrimmage was fullback Craig Taylor. So that's 3 possessions for the Mountaineers. And 3 times, apparently, Notre Dame has stopped them. Now, it might be close enough for a measurement. From our angle, it looks as if it's about a half-yard short.
Volcar in there. Let's see what happens to Zorich working on Kevin Koken. 57. Boy, Volcar shooting up from the outside just like a rocket. And he was the man that made the play. Tremendous hit by Volcar.
Past years, Notre Dame not known for its speed, but on both sides of the line of scrimmage, they can fly. And you saw Volcar fill the hole. Carrion had a busy first quarter and gets away. Another beautiful spiral that'll clear Waters' head. He doesn't pick it up, and West Virginia downs it at the 7-yard line. What a kick by Carrion. His longest this year was 57 yards, and that matched his long punt earlier in the season. Timeout, 2:41 remaining in this 1989 Fiesta Bowl. Welcome back to the Fiesta Bowl. We're late in the first quarter. Notre Dame has had the ball twice and scored twice. A 45-yard field goal by Billy Hackett. And then a 61-yard drive to a touchdown, and on 4th and 1, fullback Anthony Johnson scored. Missed the extra point when the snap was bobbled. And West Virginia trying to call upon its emotional resources.
That's Kevin Koken, one of the offensive captains, talking to the other offensive linemen and saying, let's take charge offensively in this game.
Rice gives on the slant to the fullback Braxton Banks from Hayward, California, where he attended Moreau High School. He was the editor of the newspaper there in high school, so he knows how to write his own headlines.
Well, right now, work cut out for Bob Shaw, the defensive coordinator of this West Virginia Mountaineer defense. And I'm sure he's saying to his troops, we need to come up with something big. There he is on the sideline, and I'm sure his pulse, blood pressure, both rising at the moment.
And a whistle. And we may have had the delay of game.
Maybe a defensive player into the neutral zone. He's pointing to the defensive side of the line.
False start on the defense, offense.
On the offense.
This is NFL Hall of Famer and Notre Dame legend Paul Hornung. Paul, 9-0 so far, so good.
Well, so far Notre Dame has really looked good offensively and defensively, but they're back down in the hole, Reggie. And you know one thing, this game's not over with by a long stretch.
So you're not feeling comfortable yet?
No, I like to see him get out of this hole, I'll tell you that.
Tony Rice, pretty good quarterback, huh?
Tony Rice is as quick a quarterback as I've ever seen, especially playing here at Notre Dame. He's rushed for over 800 yards. He is sensational.
How about this business that he can't throw the football?
He can throw it. Don't worry about it. You'll see it later on.
After the penalty, 2nd and 12. Rice throws out to Waters. Incomplete. Incomplete the call. There was a forward pass.
Penalty, by the way, was against the offense, and they moved that back, as you were able to see at home. This was a good pass, certainly catchable, but as is so often the case, you've got to catch the football before you look downfield.
Yeah, it's a tough one, though, right down at his ankles.
Yeah, it is that. Not as good a pass when we looked at it in replay as it was when we looked at it from up here.
Tony Rice, by the way, that run of 31 yards a while back was a big one. It goes into the record book. We'll tell you why. There's a draw play to Green, and he's smothered out at the 8-yard line, and Notre Dame will have to punt for the first time. Mike Fox, 61. Senior tackle made the stop. Going back to Rice, that was the longest run ever by a Notre Dame player in a bowl game, and it broke a 27-yard run by one of the 4 horsemen, Jim Crowley, against Stanford in the Rose Bowl game, 1925. Jim Sexton is the punter, averaged just under 39 a kick, and he'll boot it from about his goal line. Grantis Bell, number 1, is at midfield. He scuffs it, but it takes a fine roll. That was about a 20-yard roll to the 47 of West Virginia. First down, Mountaineers, their best field position at the start of the series by 21 yards.
One of the things that this West Virginia team now has to do is to take advantage of their experience level. Here's the man that has to light the firecracker right here, Major Harris. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Don Nehlen's team come out right now and say, let's just get in behind that offensive line and let's start hammering and opening some holes. Let's start doing what we do best.
In the eye. Now at midfield, that changes a lot of play calling. That's Calvin Phillips in motion. And the give to A.B. Brown. Tailback gets only to the 47, back to the line of scrimmage. George Williams and Chris Zorich collaborate on the stop. Williams 69, 50 is Zorich from Chicago. It's amazing how little of the game the coaches see other than the head man.
That's Joe Moore, the offensive line coach, talking to his troops.
Harris trying to wiggle free, gets out to the 50, a short gain of 3. That'll bring up 3rd down and 7. Flash Gordon, senior from Hillside, New Jersey.
We talked
38 made the tackle.
Excuse me, Dick. We talked about a match of speed and strength. Well, obviously speed and strength reflected in the 88 offense of West Virginia. 43 points a game. Second in the nation. You look at the total yards and rushing yardage, but that's not going to help you today.
Shut out the first quarter. The defense of the Irish has been tough. That's the early story. Notre Dame, the nation's #1 team coming in, leads 9-0 after the first 15 minutes. Quite a football sandwich. We're in the middle. The Hall of Fame game won by Syracuse over LSU, and later from the Orange Bowl in Miami, it'll be the Hurricanes of the University of Miami against the Huskers of Nebraska. Major Harris, 3rd and 7 at midfield, trailing 9-0. We open the second quarter. Still no first downs, and Harris hit from behind. That ball up for grabs and incomplete. Frank Stamms is right there with Keith Wynn. And again, the Mountaineers forced to bring the punting unit on.
I'm sure some West Virginia people saying, why wasn't there a penalty called? Because there was a jam on the receiver before the ball arrived. But this ball is tipped. Watch the pressure from Stams right here, and he touches the ball right there. Once the ball is tipped, you can't have interference. That's why they won't call interference on Streeter, who is there to strip the ball out of number 81, Wynn's hands.
Stams, who has played his biggest games against Miami and Southern California. He's tough rushing the passer. Ricky Waters is the deep man at the 10 as Carrion kicks again. Fair catch called for by Waters at the 16-yard line. First quarter statistics certainly favoring the Irish of Notre Dame as they scored on 2 of their 3 possessions. No first downs yet for West Virginia.
We talked about the importance of West Virginia getting off to a fast start. That simply has not happened. Let's credit the very quick Irish defense. They just have not allowed anything to get beyond the line of scrimmage. Small gains at every turn. And right now, the Mage is getting a word from Don Nealon. Hey, we got to get something cracking here.
From the 16, the pitch is to Mark Green. And the senior from Riverside, California is out near the 20-yard line for Preston Waters. Number 5 can make the hit from Miami. And there's Green from Poly High School in Riverside, California.
One of the amazing things about this Notre Dame team is how many times they have changed their roster this year. They just have shifted things all around like you cannot believe.
Second down and 6. Tony Brooks. And Brooks, with that last effort as he crossed the 25, may have picked up the first down. Herring and Pickett, the tacklers. Brooks and Waters were the 2 players that were disciplined before the Southern California game, and both realized that that was good for themselves and the team, and certainly might have been part of the spark emotionally that helped the Irish in that big win out in Los Angeles.
Brooks wasn't going to be laid out here. Got here a day early. Waters said, you know how you used to wait? Usually you wake up and you slap that snooze button. No more. He said, I am up. I think I got the message pretty good.
It is a first down, Notre Dame. This time to the fullback, Braxton Banks. Not easy to get him down. And quartet of Mountaineers finally wrestle him to the turf at the 27-yard line. Chris Parker and Ronaldo Turnbull get up last.
Scott Summit's playing a great deal in there. That may mean that Jim Gray, who left the game with an injury early, who had been one of the pleasant surprises and a mainstay at that nose tackle position, may not be able to get back in this ball game, and that hurts that West Virginia position up front.
Second and 8. Rice with a toss. Brooks to the 31-yard line. And again, attracting a crowd. Mike Fox, 61, and Waters, number 5. Key tacklers. There's Fox, who is from Akron. Gained 40 pounds since his freshman year.
Talking to the West Virginia players, they said he's the guy, even in practice, he goes full speed. Even when you're supposed to be going half speed, he hurts about as many of his own guys as he did the opposing team. But he is an intense defensive player.
12:30 remaining in the first half. 9-0 Notre Dame. Third down call for Rice. And the toss and a fumble. And Notre Dame recovers. Braxton Banks able to fall on the ball. And of course, one of the hazards of that option is you're tossing the potato around, but Banks saves it for Notre Dame, and with it a first down.
Chris Herring, number 49, leading tackler and really the leader of this defense, with a chance at a ball on the ground. And boy, that would have been a great opportunity for West Virginia, but it's alertly saved by one of the offensive players for Notre Dame.
So Banks not only keeps the ball in the Irish possession, but they get the first down. On the 38, Brooks close to the 45, and a good gain on first down. Orlando and Mays, a couple of secondary men, make the stop. There's Orlando, 22. 173 pounds and bench presses 420.
That's a little scary, isn't it? good-looking football player, tough. He really is the heart of that defense, and I'm sure he's frustrated right now, as are all of these West Virginia defensive players.
Banks was in for Johnson, limped off the field. He's had knee problems, and so the Irish now have a freshman moving from tailback to fullback, Rodney Culver. He's a 212-pounder from Detroit. He played more than any other freshman running back with Notre Dame this year, and he has been good since he was very young. As a freshman in high school in Detroit, he rushed for over 1,300 yards. Where's number 5, Rodney Culver? I do not know what this delay is about. Perhaps the clock malfunctioning.
Perhaps an opportunity to talk a little bit about this Notre Dame team. And interesting to talk to Lou Holtz. He said, you know, we've had a good year, but he said we're kind of ahead of schedule. We're supposed to be this good next year. And really there is the sense that this will be a better team next year. They graduate very few upperclassmen. There's the problem. There's the problem. The 25-second clock not working. But there is the sense that the strength of this team is in the young recruiting classes brought in by Lou Holtz, and with an intense perspective on speed. In fact, 28 of the players on this team run 4.6 in the 40 or less, and that was his #1 priority. He said he believed Bear Bryant, who said, luck follows speed. He said, I want some luck to follow me here.
He said it's like that sign, speed kills. He said, you know, that can apply to football, too, when you have all the speed. On second down, Mark Green. Big hole, and it appears to me as they pick up the first down, Notre Dame near the 50-yard line, Merlin Olsen, that in the battle of the two lines, both sides of the ball, the Irish are beating the Mountaineers.
Certainly appear that way. Let's look at what's happening with Chris Herring trying to read this play and get inside. Gets a nice piece of the tackler there, or the ball carrier, but Brooks just too strong, able to pick up the first down anyway.
Dean Brown, 71, the right tackle, really wedged open a good opening. First down, the Irish, they lead 9-0, and they're piling up the yards on the ground. That's the way Lou Holtz likes it. A toss to Waters, the speedy wide receiver at tailback, and they get him in the backfield for a loss of a yard.
Robert Pickett, number 45, the first man in on the tackle.
It appears Jim Gray, the freshman star nose tackle, will not be back. He has taken his pads off, and when a football player takes his pads off, that's an indication that he won't play again.
Jim Gray injured in the opening minutes of the game, and a loss at that critical nose guard or nose tackle position. Rice, 2nd and 11. Mountaineers looking for a pass. Rice has the option. He throws long on the run. Ismail, incomplete. Now, I know many of you around the country, as Mays was covering and the Irish wanted interference, have heard it Raghib Ismail, but he prefers Raghib Ismail.
Well, and he is a rocket with speed of 4.28. Oh, you wonder if Rice can unload that football. And that's Al Boyd. Mays, what happens when you shoot a rocket into a void? Those are a couple of interesting nicknames. There's the Boyd, Al Boyd, and of course the rocket, Raghib.
Well, he avoided with that left hand, but apparently ruled not a catchable pass anyway. No question that he made a hit. But boy, what an arm for Rice running against his body. Down the middle, complete to the tight end, and it's Derek Brown all the way to the 4-yard line. Brown, 6'7", 235, a brilliant first-year freshman. His first 2 catches were for touchdowns. He is a star of the future.
Well, he's a star of the moment here as he catches an only a great play right there by Bo Orlando. Saves the play, saves the touchdown. Rice dumped by Bob Pickett, but nice pass, nice run.
Well, threatening to make it more than 9-0. They've got a touchdown. Rodney Culver. scores again.
Chris Herring, 49, an opportunity, but he overran the play. And Culver, hungry for that end zone, packs it in with ease.
So the freshman from Detroit, Culver, playing because of the injuries to the upperclassmen, Banks and Johnson at fullback, slams in for the score. And now Reggie Ho measures off his marks as he tries the extra point. Tim Grunard to snap, and Pete Graham, who bobbled the snap last time, is the holder. They try the extra point off angle, and Ho knocks it through. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish very impressively lead 16-0.
And you notice there's no end zone celebration here. Hope says he wants his players to look like they've been there before.
Welcome back to Tempe, Arizona. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish have 16 points. The Mountaineers of West Virginia have 0 first downs.
They've got to get something going here. I wouldn't be surprised to just see him say to Major Harris, Major, get back there. Let's see you throw the football. The nice thing about college ball is with the 2-point conversion, 2 touchdowns, 2 two-pointers, you're right back even in the ball game.
Well, one of the guys we haven't seen so far for West Virginia, number 88, Reggie Rembert. He's that big, tall receiver who can really gallop.
They'd love to get the ball to him. They certainly need to see something started here. You see the muskets on the back of Major's helmet there. Those are for big plays. Well, they need some big plays right now. And it wouldn't hurt to start on the kickoff and get something going. There are the muskets, symbolic of team awards as well as individual big plays. No one has made more of those during his time at West Virginia than has this man in a short span. But right now, it's not what you've done in the past that counts. It's that something needs to go now.
Napoleon again, who's been a busy return man as Hackett prepares to kick it off. This one's fairly short. Napoleon at his 15. Gets through the wedge and out across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Ned Bolcar, 47, and 32, DeJuan Francisco make the stop.
Been a frustrating day for this West Virginia offense, and it's been 3 and out all day long.
Yep, the Rockettes. 3 and a kick. 3 and a kick.
There's Barry Alvarez. I tell you, his troops can take some credit for that. Some fine defense from Notre Dame.
Here's Harris. Throwing deep downfield for Rembert, incomplete. And leaping in front of the play, Pat Terrell, number 15, had his hands on it for a moment. There's Terrell. Remember that Miami game when the Hurricanes went for the win when it was a 1-point game? It was Terrell that knocked that 2-pointer away in the end zone.
Well, you notice who was in there on the play. Wes Pritchett, number 34. Pritchett on the blitz. One of the 5th-year seniors, and there are only 3 of them on this Notre Dame squad, making his presence felt.
Now that's why the pass was not only short but offline. The toss outside goes to Unger Johnson, and he is hit hard. The 41-yard line. He paid for that 5-yard gain.
And I believe it was Pritchett again on the outside. Looked like he may have bent his face mask on that one, but he is one of the 3 amigos. Pritchett, Stams, and Stonebreaker, inseparable. Let's see if it is Pritchett on the outside. 29 Smagala. No, it's not.
It's Pat Terrell.
Pat Terrell.
And the flag is on Pritchett for a late hit, apparently. Here's referee Frank Shepard.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense, automatic first down.
Pritchett, he's a 5th-year man, a senior from Atlanta, where he went to Westminster High School. He and some of the other men who were there at the end of the Jerry Faust reign, remember that terrible shellacking they took in Miami their freshman year. Now a chance to complete the cycle and finish their college careers with a national championship. Harris drills the ball incomplete right through the midst of A.B. Brown. Oh, he has got a rocket for an arm. What a great athlete this young man is from Pittsburgh. He's got 2 more years of eligibility. Recruited by many of the major schools as a defensive back, West Virginia, knowing that Harris wanted desperately to play quarterback in college, said, hey, we got a spot for you. And they love this man in the state of West Virginia. Give on the draw goes to Anthony Brown. Didn't get too much, 41-yard line. Back to Major Harris. Merlin, he said that his idol growing up in Pittsburgh was not a Steeler. It was a Cleveland Brown quarterback, Brian Sipe. He said he liked the way that Sipe would bring the Browns back. Well, he's in the role today, down 16-0.
Well, I think that's logical. Sam Clancy had grown up in the same hill district in Pittsburgh that he grew up in and had gone to the Cleveland Browns, kind of drew his attention over there, and Sipe was somebody he watched a lot.
3rd and long. Harris scrambling, throwing, and Craig Taylor has a first down at the 31-yard line. So they got the penalty on that was their initial first down, and now on the pass 3rd down, the second Mountaineer first down.
And you got a shot, a little volley from the Mountaineer who said maybe this will help. We'll give him a little bang down here.
With all the ammunition he has, with those games where they scored over 50, maybe figures he won't use it all today. Ball just outside the 30-yard line. Trailing 16-0. 8 minutes left, 2nd quarter. Brown, a big hole, and a solid open field tackle by Stan Smagala on that left corner, or Brown might have been gone.
This is an offensive line that's played together since they were playing as the Hamburger Squad early on as freshmen. Fine blocking inside. Good job by Craig Taylor to the fullback, coming up with a real shot. He may be the most underrated player on this West Virginia team.
2nd and 3. Good second effort by Taylor. He was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and there goes some flags. After the play, George Williams 69 and Keith Wynn 81.
There's some popping going on down at the line of scrimmage, and what we may have seen was a retaliation. You don't want to be the guy to head back.
Personal foul, defense.
Yes, it was. Wynn was hammering right there, and he was the guy that got the first shot in, and George Williams took a shot later and takes the 15-yard penalty.
You notice the difference in the uniforms. The West Virginia players have their names on the back, and they have the Fiesta Bowl emblem on the shoulders. Notre Dame has none of that. No names, no Fiesta Bowl. That was Lou Holtz, one of his techniques. It's just another game. He didn't want them to think of this game being so important.
And I think it's paid off, because I think his troops have adjusted emotionally better in this first quarter by far, and certainly it shows on the scoreboard.
But here's the Mountaineers' best chance from the 11-yard line. Trailing 16-0. The toss to A.B. Brown, and he's bounced out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Good play by Smagala. Boy, he comes from good heritage, does number 29 Stan Smagala from Burbank, Illinois. There was a feature on his dad, you might remember. Stan Sr. at 42 years of age, Smagala's dad was playing football in junior college. Said he couldn't outrun him, Stan Jr., until he was a junior in high school. Smagala there on that right corner for the Irish. He had the 64-yard touchdown with the interception against Southern Cal. Surprisingly, the Mountaineers stay on the ground, and Brown gets maybe 3. Brian Flannery backing up Chris Zorich at the nose tackle. Makes the stop.
This is a West Virginia team that runs a tremendous variety of formations and offensive differences, but they have not been that effective, and it looks to me like they're just leaning on that big fifth-year senior offensive line and saying, hey, we're coming up inside.
Harris. Some help. Will they run it? Yes. And now he throws. Touchdown. And it was a legal pass. He threw it from the 5-yard line. Jamie Lamont, number 15, has the score. Now, wait a minute now. He threw it from the 5. The line of scrimmage was the 7. That may not be a legal pass.
Now, they're trying to ask the question now, but this is not the kind of situation where we get a review from up above.
There goes the flag.
Illegal forward pass. Quarterback will cross the line of scrimmage.
So the touchdown will be nullified. Major Harris scrambling, and at the last minute, the Irish came up to meet him to deny the run, and so he flipped it to Lamont, but he had already passed the line of scrimmage. That carries a loss of down, so now it's 4th down.
Let's take a peek, and let's see if we can pick out the spot where he finally stops to throw this football. He brings the team up. Pritchard right there stops and freezes his foot right on the 5-yard line.
Yeah,
there's no question about that, and there's no question that he was over the line of scrimmage.
Only a 5-yard penalty, but severity of the call, you lose the down, so there's no second chance on 3rd down. So 4th down, in comes Charlie Bauman to try a field goal, and he knocks it straight through from 29. That's not what the Mountaineers wanted. They were looking for 7 or 8. They have to settle for 3, and it's still the Irish, 16-3.
The 1989 Sun-Kissed Fiesta Bowl is brought to you by UPS. We deliver to every address in the U.S. and to 41 countries worldwide. By Nabisco brands. At Nabisco, we make products that make friends. By Gillette and the Gillette Atra Plus shaving system. Gillette, the best a man can get. And by the Sun-Kissed family of products, where you can be sure of the highest quality every time. You have our word on it.
Major Harris and the West Virginia Mountaineers have not been able to make the proper connections. 7-yard line. He threw from the 5. The penalty. They had to settle for the field goal at 16-3, and now they must kick off to the freshman Ismail, who returned 2 for touchdowns during the year and was awarded by the NCAA the kickoff return title this past season. There he is from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. He runs a 4.28. That great moment of anticipation, almost like fighters coming into the ring before a big one. Charlie Bauman kicks it off for West Virginia. Kicks to the side, but Ismail is there at the 14. Stays on his feet. Boy, for a little guy, he's got some leg strength, carrying big men with him. 175-pound Ismail, and finally 99, Basil Proctor, who played here 2 years ago briefly with the University of Miami, then transferred to West Virginia, makes the stop.
Ismail with a brother Quaddy, who's a freshman wide receiver at Syracuse. They call him the Missile, and a baby brother, Suleiman, who's called the Bomb. Well, he says his mom is called the launching pad. And you could see some power there from the rocket. He's got rocket-like strength in those legs. You're right, Dick.
37-yard line. 16-3, Notre Dame leads. 6 minutes, 9 seconds left. Third in the second quarter. Tony Rice rolling out to the 42-yard line. Ronaldo Turnbull tripped him up.
Quick story about Tony Rice. Got his first opportunity to get into the game when Terry Andrzak was hurt. Pittsburgh, 87. Got in there, and he was so worried about reading the defense that he lined up under the guard. Anthony Johnson said, "Tony, move over, move over."
He's really a popular player, as is Harris. They're not only the vote of the MVPs of their respective teams by their teammates, they're probably the most popular players on each of the squads. Inside handoff to Tony Brooks, and he's shy of the first down at the 46 by a long yard. Herring again in on the tackle.
One of the men leading that play around the end, Andy Heck, who moved unselfishly this year from tight end to offensive tackle. He said he went from being a slow tight end to a fast tackle. Can you imagine being asked to gain 30 pounds? Now, wouldn't that be fun? All the things you can eat.
Now it would, yes. Now it would.
We ate 5 times a day, he said, to put on that extra 30 pounds.
3rd and 2 from the 45. And the give to Culver, the freshman, to score the touchdown. He fumbled the ball, and who's got it?
Second time today, the ball is on the ground, and it looks like Notre Dame has recovered again.
Tim Ryan, the guard. And they fumbled forward for another first down. Both times the ball going forward for first down yardage, and both times someone in the same uniform color getting the ball.
Ryan on the left-hand side of your